The GPT-Image-2 model has been out for a while. I believe that everyone has discovered many problems while using it. The most common ones are crashes in one detail of the picture and uncontrollable factors. It is not as stable as Nano Banana. Why do we need to do this? Just make this prompt optimizer. So why do we still have to make this prompt optimizer? The logic of Image-2 to generate images is that we enter the prompts and GPT does a lot of understanding and rewriting. The right side is the prompt optimized by GPT. As for this, I extracted it from the web page through a plugin that a big boss shared before. It analyzed a prompt, and it can be seen that after optimization, the prompt is very long. Many creators tells everyone not to write too long a GPT prompt, because if the prompt you give is very long but is not done according to its own optimization logic, it will cause a lot of confusion and the final picture will be broken. His execution ability is very strong. It is a catastrophic prompt, so there will eventually be a situation where the image collapses. So how should we write the prompt for Image-2? As mentioned above, we try not to use the prompts before Nano Banana to write the prompt for Image-2. What kind of lamp is it? What color does the lamp emit? Go back to the prompt. The reverse prompt does not have any formatting restrictions. In a lot of prompts, you can see a lot of repeated words and even inconsistencies. I'm not very good at writing prompts, because as far as I know, many people don't know what to write when writing prompts. This is quite troublesome. So here is a prompt optimizer. Here is a comparison of the process before optimization and after optimization. It will also make the results of our graphs more controllable. The second point is this optimizer. This optimizer does not make our graphs look better. Now that the theoretical part is over, let's take a look at the actual cases and operations. Let's take a look at a drawing comparison of this prompt. The following is an effect directly produced by using this prompt. Let's take a look at the above. After optimization, the prompt looks like this. At this node here, we can modify the prompt inside. Modify according to your own needs. If no modification is needed or after the modification is completed, we can click Continue and it will enter the mode of drawing. Click here to log in and register. So through an encapsulation method, it also avoids being like many folks who couldn't find these related websites before. After finding it, they don't know how to fill in the request address, model API key, and these parameters, so it is very troublesome. To optimize pictures, it depends on what kind of intensity you need during use. Here is our inverse model. For example, if I choose this above to automatically generate this text, and below I choose Enhance, the intensity of the text it optimizes will be higher. Let's just click this to cancel and run again. Here we click Continue to proceed to the next step. We can also draw cards by constantly adjusting the prompts here. This method will make our entire drawing more controllable. One prompt is written in a way to see how this works. When you come out to generate an image, there may be a situation where the modification of the original picture is very small, which is closely related to our prompts. You can take a look here. Let's take a look at these parameters. They are all the same prompts. The feeling and atmosphere of the picture are used as a reference, including the atmosphere of a font, including the color and lightness of a font. By using this method for reference, you can see the effect after our optimization. The prompt is very simple. An arrangement of the picture, a perspective display method of our lens. It is reproduced in this way. But when we did not optimize the prompt, he directly changed the picture and replaced the yogurt with cola. An area of the information bar, an area of the brand, it is a way of reference. When we already have a picture and don't know how to typesetting it, we can use this method to find a typesetting we like as a reference to generate pictures. Why do we need to do 3 workflows? But it is also written in a structured way. It is also an attempt. The second workflow is a workflow generated by us with dual pictures, which is a situation that is used a lot in our e-commerce scenarios. That is, we upload a product and find a reference to generate a picture. If we don't change the frame, it has a high degree of restoration of our entire reference picture. That is to say, our style reference picture will actually have a greater impact. It is only controlled through prompts. It is equivalent to using this prompt alone. The optimizer will help us generate the prompt, and we can modify it separately. Through such a secondary operation, we can also control the effect of our picture. We need to copy the prompts and modify them. Regarding our local integration package, everyone downloads this compressed file and decompresses it locally. After decompression, we click on the ComfyWe and find the launcher of Choya. There are very few plugins, and it is very clean. Click to open and overwrite this path. Okay, that's the end of our video in this issue. If you have any comments during the use, please leave me a message. Of course, I also hope that you can give me a one-click 3-way support. The most common problem is that breakdowns in the details and uncontrollable factors. Image-2, this model is very strong for Nano Banana, is in an overwhelming state. There is another school of thought that the Image-2 model, the probability that the picture is broken is too high. It is not as stable as Nano Banana. Corresponding prompt optimization plugin. Of course, this plugin is also attempts by myself. I will put the links to the plugins and integration packs. I will put the links in the comment section, and you can download and use it yourself. There are many more. There is still a lot of room for exploration. I'm making this prompt optimizer. For the GPT-Image-2 model, you can easily generate good images by writing a few words. Do this prompt optimizer. The purpose of this optimizer not to make the images look better, but to allow us to control the result of our image generation. The logic of Image-2 is that we input the prompt, and GPT performs a lot of understanding and rewriting to generate an image. On the left side of the screen is the prompt I input, and the right is the prompt optimized by GPT. This is I extracted it from the web through a plugin extracted from the web. The result of analyzing the prompt. After optimization, the prompt after optimization is very long. Many creators told you not to write too long prompts. If the prompt you give is very long, but not according to its own optimization logic, it will generate a lot of confusion. Nano Banana is actually a very capable graphic designer, right? It doesn't have so many ideas. Are contrary to the direction of his thinking, there will be a chaotic situation. Simply put, just like your leader gives you a colorful black, or something like zooming in while zooming out. For our model, it is a catastrophic prompt. We should try not to use prompts before this nano banana to write the prompt of Image-2. We use a modular approach. We first tell it what type of image we need, the subject, scene, composition style, and what we need text and restrictions. We need to follow such a principle. We should first quality over quantity. What kind of atmosphere we need. The picture presents a certain feeling. When communicating with an experienced designer, you definitely won't tell him what font to use for this word, or color number, or weight, right? You just need to tell him what kind of feeling I want, right? We need to change our role. We should treat it as an experienced designer, instead of treating it as a completely drawing tool. And reverse the prompts. And the prompts are not formatted. In a large number of prompts, we can see many repeated words or even contradictory. The generated images will definitely be very bad. After we understand the structure of the prompt, you may still have trouble writing the prompts. So, here is an optimizer for the prompt. Here is a comparison of the process before and the optimized one. That's quite troublesome. We input the prompt and the AI understands it by itself and do a lot of imagination and generate the image. The whole process and result are not very controllable. The optimizer to generate a logically structured output of the Image-2 model, and through our manual intervention and control, and finally enter our image generation. In this process, our participation will be higher. The prompt of Image-2 is not that long. Prompts are not allowed, but that we should try our best to conform to its optimization logic and try to be as accurate as possible. In this way, it can largely avoid the collapse of our image and make the output more controllable. This optimizer doesn't make the image look better. It builds a bridge between our input prompt and the image and the final image. After the theoretical part, let's take a look at the cases and operations. Here, the workflow has been prepared for you. A comfy work platform. You can also use My to register. After successful registration, you can get 1000 RHB. Let's first take a look at the Wenxing image. But it's actually very messy. And look at these things, and all these settings are very limited. This is a bit like the one we previously a keyword for this nano banana. It's very long, and it feels like every part is very restricted. The drawing standard of the prompt is the effect directly generated by this prompt. We can see the whole picture. This effect is obviously much better than the bottom, right? The whole details, including the description of the effect of the smoke after the rain, the cinematic feel. The prompt after optimization is like this. I don't want it, right? I can let it generate text freely. We click Continue to generate the image. It will enter the drawing mode. We can use this method to greatly reduce the situation of our card drawing. This floating window can be used for login and recharge. I have already logged in here. Click on the Unlogged in here. Let's take a look at the consumption records. This 1K picture is at 5.4. The model API key these parameters, so it's very troublesome. Do we need text in our image? What does it mean to keep the original text? After writing, we click Keep the original text. We also want AI to help us. We want it to expand. We can choose to optimize it. For automatic generation, is also based on the prompts we give to generate more decorative words and symbols to optimize our picture. This is our reverse inference model, so everyone can use it according to their own to use it according to your own situation. For example, if I choose the automatically generated text and I choose Enhance below the optimized, the intensity of the text will be higher. The final picture may appear words that we have not written. I wrote 2 prompts. I'll write the text clearly here. Here has added new text for us. After we finish modifying, we click the Continue button above. If you are not satisfied, we can click the Cancel button and run it again. Here we click Continue to proceed to the next step. Okay, we can see the image has come out. The content of this image, the modified content here. We can also keep adjusting the prompts here to draw cards. This way will make us the whole image generation will be more controllable. You can try it yourself. If you are interested in this later, I will iterate a long prompt. A prompt writing method. There are 3 workflows for image to image. The third workflow is actually quite simple. Let's take a look at the first workflow. It's actually a single image workflow for image cleaning. We use this reference image and reverse inference through our prompts, which is closely related to our prompts. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at these parameters. It actually depends on the prompts we input. For example, if we input such as I want to refer to style, or I want to refer to composition, or something else, right? Based on the prompts we input to make a self-judgment. Let's take a look at this. The effect after optimization. Both of them use the same prompt. This is through our optimized by the optimizer. Ultimate effect we want. The reference style is easier to understand. It's basically a copy, right? We just moved the people over and scaled the image proportionally. So here we can see the prompt is very critical. The prompt is very simple. Is to generate a poster of Coke, to generate a poster of Coke. The reference composition and the composition of the reference image is very close. But the one we didn't optimize, they just copied the entire composition, arrangement of the picture, and the way our camera views the scene. But when we didn't optimize the prompt, he directly replaced the picture. Let's take a look at this reference light and shadow. The color temperature, light and shade, and other elements. We can see the optimized effect. To create more different things. To improve our creativity, let our products have more diverse expressions. It is a reference to this way. When we already have an image and don't know how to lay out it, we can use this method, find a layout we like for reference, to generate a new image. Here, why do we need to do 3 workflows? A similar style image. That is, we are making a replica. Here I wrote a very simple prompt. Okay, you can see the prompt has come out. If we don't need to modify it here, we can directly click Next. We can modify all the content here. We can modify it through the prompts before. I used a relatively natural language description. The second workflow is a dual image generation workflow. That is, we upload a product and find a reference to generate an image. This workflow and the workflow below, the only difference is whether we have passed reference image to the node that generates the image. To maintain the consistency of our product images. So we only send our product images. For the remaining scenes, we will control them the prompts to control. Because normally, When we import two images, we will have a stronger reference. The reference to the reference image itself will be stronger. Because maybe I changed the aspect ratio. The reference image will have a greater impact. The second one is that is, our style reference image, it doesn't ultimately reach our rendering node. It is only controlled by the prompt. If we use the same frame or reference images that have nothing to do with our product, the difference between the two is still significant. Okay, when using it on RunningHub, you need to pay attention. There is no text editing node on RunningHub, the relay node for text editing. We copy the reverse inference prompt to copy it into our text box and send this prompt to the node where we generate images. We can modify it separately. Through this secondary operation, we can also control the effect of our image generation. If you can't generate images with the low-cost version, you can use the official version. And you can see the official stable version. You can replace this and replace the node yourself. We need to copy the prompt and modify it. If there is no need to modify it, we can directly generate images. Optimization effect is the best. So far, I have tested that 5.5 has the best effect. After downloading the compressed file, unzip it locally. After decompressing, we click on this ComfyWay. Let's take a look at this integrated package. There are very few plugins. Other plugins are basically auxiliary. It basically has no impact on the device. There is not much pressure. Here, we can in this advanced options change our generation engine to CPU. We click the folder icon behind it, find the directory we just extracted, and cover this path. Because this is my path. At this time, we can click Start to run it. Of course, I hope you can give a triple click to support me. See you next time. Bye.